Have you done bad things in your past and now you just can't seem to let it go? Hey guys, it's John out here on the back deck, this time having a nice glass of iced tea. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening and the sky is still nice and bright, so I thought I'd come out and talk to you guys. One of the things that I've been finding in a lot of my private sessions is people really feeling that they've done something wrong in their past and not being able to let it go. The guilty conscience. The thing is, first of all, recognize that if you feel bad about it in the first place, something has changed, because for you to have done something that you are not proud of in the past and you feel guilty about it now, you realize that you are now in a different place. You wouldn't do it now, would you? Are you the same person you were when you did that thing? Next thing is, have you tried to make amends with the people that you did it to? Is it even possible? Have they moved on and put it behind them? A lot of times people will say, I did terrible things in my past, and then go back to talk to the person. Sometimes they don't even remember it. Sometimes like, yeah, it was just, we were kids or whatever. They have their own justifications as to why it happened. So the question really comes is, when do you stop beating yourself up? Like I said, if you feel you've done something wrong to somebody, and you've gone and you've tried to make amends and they're not accepting it, you don't have to carry it. That was their choice to not let it go. You have done what you can to let it go. You have done what you can to make amends. And if they're gone and they've or have passed away or something, they're on the other side. Doesn't matter to them on the other side. They get on the other side, there is no guilt or shame. There is none of those things. And they understand why it was all done in the first place. When do you let it go? When do you say that part of my life is over and I am moving forward, learning from that experience, learning from that mistake, and I'm not doing it again? When do you let it go? When do you leave that part of your life behind? That's the important part of this. If you've gone to make amends and they said, okay, then you can let it go. If you've gone to make amends and you've done everything you can to make amends and they still don't accept your amends, then you have to let it go. Because if you don't let it go, that's you just being in subjugation to them for a mistake you made. This moment is a different moment from that moment. You are an entirely different person right now. And the reason you know you're an entirely different person is because you feel guilty about something you did. You're an entirely different person. So when do you say, okay, from this point forward, I am living my life in a way that is not like that person I was in the past. I am living into a new direction that is more loving, more caring, and more respectful of other people. And when do you let it go? Sometimes we find it hard to forgive ourselves, but there's nothing changeable in the past. And anchoring yourself to a past mistake for the rest of your life will leave you stagnant in the present. Forgive yourself. Are you a good person? Are you a good person? That's a present moment choice. That's not something that was dictated by something you did in the past. If you're a good person now, then that is the next moment is going to show you being a good person. And then the moment behind you will be you being a good person. And you're creating a new pathway for it as a good person. But it all comes down to your belief that you're a good person. I feel guilty about something I've done in the past. Okay. I've tried to make amends and they didn't accept it. That's their choice. I've done all I can. I am now forgiving myself and letting them know that, I am so sorry that it happened, and move forward in their life. Eventually, what will probably happen is they'll either come back to you to say, I'm sorry, I understand now, to say, I'm sorry, I understand now, or they'll be out of your life and they'll move on, because them going out of your life you don't have to feel guilty about it anymore. They have moved on. They have moved on. You have to move on too. The idea of being guilty for life doesn't change the world. It only makes you more stagnant. It makes you less effective as someone who could live loving in the world. You have to love yourself as equally as you would love anybody else. And in the past, maybe you did something that wasn't loving, but here in the now, you can take that and completely erase that. You can be this horrific person. I told the story a while ago of the young uh, neo-Nazi who the one person who took care of him was the black social worker. And, all of that horrible stuff that he said and did about black people and everything, she just gave him love. And he took her to the tattoo parlor with him to remove his last swastika, to show her how important it was that it be done with her and there in the room, and to show her how important she was in his life. Now, that young man is helping other neo-Nazis break free. Now, in the past, he did horrible things. He did terrible things, said horrible things, made people feel belittled and marginalized. Now he's helping stop that with other people. He's doing things. He's doing the loving thing now. He's moved on. He's saying, okay, I am not that person anymore. Now I am this. I am doing this. Is he making amends for what he did? No, he just saw a different path, and he's showing it to people who are lost on their path. In your life, a lot of people feel guilty about how their parents passed, how they couldn't have been there more for them. Well, a lot of times that's because of the things you have to do in your own life. Sometimes it's because of your own fears and anxieties around them. But in reality, it comes down to there was something that kept you away, right? We look at how we've treated our brothers and sisters or our friends or all these things. Do your best to make amends. And then when you've done your best, let it go. Let it go. Because as long as you're holding on to it, they can't let it go. Because it's like a tug of war. It's an energetic tug of war. You're pulling, they're pulling. You let go, and they let go because you no longer are in that attachment. You make your statement of love and apologize, and then you move on. But to carry it is to realize that you are not changing. You are not growing forward. You are not expanding into the loving person that you are. And you can do that. You can be that loving person in any given moment. And every moment is a moment of potential. Every moment is a moment of positive change if you so choose. Every moment is a moment of releasing the past. Every moment is the, the moment of creation. And you get to literally be born again, start over, create something new, create more love, treat people better than you have in the past. You are the one who can do that. And I have complete faith in you. I've seen people change their lives over and over again. And I'm so happy that you are at a point now where maybe you see you've done something wrong in the past, but now in this moment, you are literally saying that part of my life is done. So guys, give yourself a break. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the loving, caring person. Like I said, do what you can to clear up whatever you can. But once you've done your best, let it go. Let it go. You can do this. You're a good person. You are loved. You'll always be loved because you are part of love. You're part of love. You're part of God itself, God Himself, herself. God is found within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And right there at the bottom of your breath is your direct connection to not only God, but your authentic good self. That authentic good self that does not have the guilt and the guilty conscience that is weighing you down. Exhale, because all of those emotions of the guilt and the guilty conscience are just fear of not being loved and fear of not being loving. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.